We'll open up with a few questions in the room here, and then we'll go to the Zoom. Let's start here in the room. Go ahead.
Hi, Nneka. You just dominated on all facets of the game. Talk about a homecoming. As an opposing player for the first time, did the crowd feed into how you played? Because typically when a home team plays, the crowd helps them get that energy. But for you, did it happen for you too?
I wouldn't say particularly. I mean, it was, this is a very familiar court for me, so I feel very comfortable playing here. I would argue that it's a little difficult on a camp day game. The energy is just loud, which is really good. But and it's great for us to be able to work on that kind of playoff atmosphere where, we're communicating at a high level. But for me, it was really just about coming in and finishing out the first, what, 3/5 of the season before going into Olympic break. But of course, feeling good here in crypto is very natural to me.
Welcome back. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
You guys have now won, let's see, 8 out of the last 10 games. A little bit of a struggle to start the season, but it seems like things have been really clicking for you. What can you talk about? What kind of things have gone into that coalescence over the last, June 23rd?
Sure. I mean, I would say that, there's a lot of new pieces coming into the team this year and acclimating to each other. A lot of new big pieces too. I think it takes a little bit of time to gel in that way. And so chemically, it was really trying to figure out what the composition of our team was, what the cadence of our team is, and getting into that flow in a way where, it feels not necessarily like we're hitting a groove, but like we're kind of evolving throughout the season towards a point that is a common goal, is what I feel we've been able to master, especially in these last 10 games, through the wins and the losses. And I'm grateful that we were able to finish on a high point going into the Olympic break.
Let's take questions on Zoom. Masvita, start us out, and then we'll go to Bella.
Hey, Nneka, did you obviously historical day, the win, and then obviously your points in? Did you say anything to Lisa, or you obviously knew she was there?
Yeah, I mean, anything that I've done, whether it's in a Sparks jersey or in the WNBA in a Seattle Storm jersey, is because I was raised in the house that Lisa built, and then of course CP was able to sustain that foundation as well. And so I just really thanked her for all of the times that she inspired me, and for me to be able to be a very small part of that legacy.
As always, Jules, you're right on time. Just how important was the defense here? Down in the clutch, you getting the 12 points. How important is defense for this team and the energy that it takes?
No, it's super important. I think we said before, it's really kind of started with Sky, getting, a lot of activity and pressure on the point guards, and then Nneka pressuring the elbows and knowing ahead of time what play calls is going to happen. And everyone in the back kind of used that. It was like, okay, let's go. So we know that we're very versatile on defense, and our activity level and our ability to switch things and kind of cover up certain things just because we're athletic helps us a lot. But we love getting stops. We understand that helps us on the offensive side and makes it a little easier, and we're able to get layups by getting deflections and still. So it's definitely something we definitely are very prideful about.
Thank you.
Now let's go to Bella and then Percy.
Hey guys, thanks for the time. Just for you, Nneka, talking a little bit more about passing Lisa Leslie for 12th on the all-time scoring list. Just what do you think about that record, and how does it make you feel, especially to pass her playing in LA even though you're on a different team?
I mean, it still feels the same, it really just it feels like such an honor, to even be that close to her on the list, for her to do it in LA, to do it with her watching. I mean, she's just someone that's always inspired me and my sisters, and she's continued to be someone who mentors and who continues to help build the game. And I'm just really grateful to have someone like that in my life, who understands the history of this league, the history of the Sparks, and what it really means, and exudes it even after many years of, accomplishing all of her goals.
And Percy, go ahead.
Hi guys, this one's for Nneka. Hey, just after the All-Star break, what type of plans do you have for the after the All-Star game? Just what type of plans do you have for the Olympic break? And you obviously you didn't have much of a say in it, but is the 4-week layoff coming at a good time for y'all, considering that you've won 8 of the last 10 games here?
I mean, I think the break is coming at a time that's good for everyone when it comes to being able to get rest outside of the Olympians who are going to have to go out and continue to compete. And, you know, the break is what we do on the break is kind of, at least for me, since I've been in the league, the same. You know, you get rest and then you get to work. And that's exactly what's going to happen for me on the break.
And then is there any sort of advice that you give to the younger players as to how they manage this time off, of just that, you know, how you manage the rest versus keeping rest versus the rust there?
Yeah, I mean, just maintaining balance, you know, keeping things in moderation. I think it's important for everyone to lean into the rest as we step into this break. And then, you know, once we're all back in the city and working out together, that's when we really try to utilize the time that we have on the court to get better and to get strong.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, questions? One more question.
Hey, Jewell. So you're
Am I done? Oh, okay.
you're
Sorry about that.
affectionately known as the Gold Mamba, and you know I can see the Kobe logo on your arm there. Considering everything that's happened today with the passing of Joe Bryant, was there any, I guess, added oomph to, I guess, show out today, especially considering, you know, this is the, I guess, the house that Kobe built along with all the other Laker legends?
I wouldn't say there was like extra motivation on that end. I think obviously, you know, anytime you lose anyone who, you know, you're close with or anything like that, you know, it's never easy. And the best way, you know, like you kind of said, to honor anyone is to go out there and play your hardest, or, you know, whatever it is. You know, obviously I want to send all the, you know, my condolences to the Bryant family. And I know before the game, I walked out and took a picture of Kobe statue and kind of walked around it, and he's kind of had a moment because that's my first time seeing it. But for me, it's always very important to just come into here and just respect the game. I think that's something that you want to do every time you step on the court, just do that. And, you know, I have a lot of respect for the Bryant family, obviously. And I want to make sure that I'm doing exactly what Kobe told me to do. And I have so much respect for that family and what the legacy that they're building.
Any more questions for Nneka before we let her go? All right, thank you, Nneka.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Jewel, a few more questions for you, and then we'll let you go. So go ahead.
Jewell, you guys have won now your 8 out of your last 10 games and coming together really well. The defense really stood out today for me. What are some things, I know obviously you're going to a break, what are some things the team's gonna look to improve on when you get back from break? Because obviously you guys have taken a lot of steps, but I know this is a team full of pros, you're probably thinking about what else you could do.
Yes, it's always, you know, an opportunity to get better at things. I think for us, you know, we know that we can get stops, you know, we can rely on our defense, and a lot of defense is just effort and communication, but we're still getting better at it as well. I think the next level for us is just putting together maybe like easier progressions for us and just trying to find better ways to not have little lulls. You know, I think that kind of basketball goes in, it's a flow, it's up and down, we understand that, but for us, we really we don't like to see them a lot. So for us, is making sure how can we prevent those things at certain times, but also rely on who we are. You know, and to be honest, we're still a team that's still, you know, new. A lot of things takes time to kind of build out a flow. So we're right where we're supposed to be, and we know we get build on and add on to this thing. And right now we're moving in a good direction.
Hi, Joel. Dahami Joseph with Yahoo Sports. I spoke to Nneka earlier, pre-game, and she talked about one of the main reasons why she came to Seattle because of the championship culture. And you have a lot to do with that. You set the foundation of this iteration of the Storm. How do you think your championship experience leads this new group? We have a lot of big new pieces to add into the mix, but you guys still are going for one common goal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the biggest thing that, you know, I've mentioned to Nneka and Sky and really the whole team is, you know, for us to win a championship, you have to be yourselves. I mean, that's the only way you can do it. You can't try to be someone else. You can't try to be, you know, do something that I do that you don't do. Just the best way to win a championship is be yourselves. That's why we're all here. I feel like if the pieces all align and we're all at our best version of ourselves, that's when you have a chance of winning games, but obviously going deep in playoffs. And so for me, it's understanding that, everyone has to stay ready. You never know when your name's going to be called for a certain matchup or lineup or things like that. So making sure everyone's just mentally staying ready, body's feeling good, and we're all having this joy when we're playing basketball. I feel like this team, and especially we play so much better when we're playing free, playing with a joy, and even through a lot of things, laughing and still taking it serious. I feel like that's how this team gets better. So that's kind of just the speech I have for us, and not putting too much pressure on anyone and allowing us to just be pros.
And then this is a two-parter for you. What does the word legacy mean to you? And then what do you think your legacy is here with the school?
The last couple of years, the two things that I kind of hold my head on is just be epic and create forever. Those are the last two things that Kobe said to me. And so I look at, what I'm doing on court, off court as that, is there a way to be epic, and is there a way to create forever? And I think for me, it's finding just the next generation and helping the next generation of hoopers, but also people who want to invest in entrepreneurships and things like that. So whatever that looks like for me will be that. I feel like that's a question. Maybe once I'm done, you guys could kind of help me maybe put into the right words. But those are the two things that I kind of live by day by day.
Got time for one more question. Let's take Dylan on Zoom. Dylan, go ahead with your question.
Perfect. You and Nneka combined for 20 out of the 25 points in the fourth quarter. What did you guys both see? I mean, particularly you obviously see in that fourth quarter that helped sort of push your team over the edge.
I'm just staying aggressive. Nneka kept telling me to, get to the line, get downhill. And I think that's a aspect of my game that, depending on certain matches, I can really take advantage of. And I feel like I can keep doing that and stay kind of in my sweet spots. And same with Nneka, I think her ability to run the floor and two-man game with me and her helps us a lot. And just making she's so active. So we know shots go up, she's going to rebound the ball, get second chance shots for us and opportunities. And I think that's the biggest thing. You always tell each other to stay aggressive, stay in that pocket, keep doing what you're doing, things will fall. And that's kind of how we, like to play.
Thanks, Jewell. Appreciate it.
Thank
We'll
you,
have Coach
guys.
in here in just a few minutes. All right. Set to go with Coach. Let's take a few here in the room, then we'll go to the Zoom and fire away with your questions here in the room. So go ahead.
Hey, I'm in the right place now, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask you the same question I asked Nneka. You guys have won 8 out of the last 10 games. Really come together a lot over the last month. What is working for you guys, and what are you still looking to improve a little more on?
I think our defense has really been our strong suit. A couple of those moments and quarters and within the last 10 games, either our defense has sustained us, or we had some awareness that it wasn't, to the potential that it needed to be at. And I think every time we've responded on that end of the floor. And so the charge would be to continue to focus in on that side of the floor first, because that creates transition. It creates easier looks for us. It creates energy. And I think this team really thrives when we're playing with some great pace. On the other end of the floor, I would like our 3-point percentage to be a little bit better in the second half of the season. That's very doable though, because we've been getting really good looks. It's just a matter of sometimes just seeing it go through and being comfortable and knocking down some open looks. So I like where we've been with sharing the ball. Where are we at? 21 assists again today. So I think that we're finding some ways to really play some really good offense as well.
Just a quick thought. You guys have such a great core of veterans. Do you think that's helped Jordan come along? Because obviously she's now in the starting lineup and doing a really good job there.
Yeah, it does. Jordan has done great things for us. As in her role, she's been an all-star in her role, a superstar in her role. And at the beginning of the year, it was making sure she was focused and ready to take on the matchups that she was and bring the energy. And now she's in the lineup to where she's defending a lot of times other players' most potent wing scorer, and really taking on that challenge. And when you have vets around to give you encouragement,
to continue to empower you and to let her know that she has this amazing skill set and ability to do a lot of things on the floor, not just on defense, then I think that gives her a lot of confidence, and she's playing in a great pocket of confidence right now.
Let's take a question from Zoom. Dylan, go ahead with your question, and then we'll go to Christian.
You've talked about recently how you wanted to manifest sort of your guys' ability to make threes. Tonight, shot 30%. A lot of them, I know Jewell had a couple that went in and out. Just describe how, again, you talked on it last time as well, how defense will obviously help you win games, but at the end of the day, you will need to make threes eventually. Describe just how threes helped in tonight's game.
Threes become separators a lot in a lot of games. And I thought that we got good looks, a couple of those rimmed out. And if we can get 6 to 10 makes and take some, stay in that 35, range, I think that we can really offset it. I say have some balance to our offense. What's been offsetting our offense, if you look at our points in the paint tonight, 42. If you look at us getting to the free throw line, 26. Free throw attempts, points in transition. Like, these are the points that are really offsetting what we're doing. So this break is going to be really helpful to get some reps in and to get some comfort there with the players who are here. And at the end of the day, I like the looks that we're going to get. If we keep getting them, I think we're going to knock those down in the second half of the season.
Go to Christian and then Maz after that.
Hey, Coach, congrats on the win heading to the break. There were several times throughout the game where you said, or before the game, you said not to really overestimate, the Sparks, like you did the Dream. And then you gave them pretty much, a really good fight. But in that fourth quarter, like Dylan said, Nneka and Jewell combined for 20 to 25. During that stretch, there were certain points where it was like, okay, Derrick Hamby came back in after that long stretch of the 12-0 run. It's kind of running what you saw on the defensive end that kind of played into the offense.
I thought that Jackson had a really strong game. When there's versatility with their bigs and their small forwards, because they can play both 3 and 4, they can stretch the floor. I don't think that we were sharp in our coverages. I thought that we weren't as physical some points, and I just don't think our schemes are as clean as they have been. And we allowed that to kind of dictate, what we did offensively as well. A couple of those possessions, just shots, not great, turning the basketball over, but I think the Sparks have a great lineup of length, of versatility, of youth mixed with vets that can really mix up what they do. And I thought that we were allowing them to be too comfortable. And, the mindset, though, is to focus on us and what we need to get better at. And I think in those moments where we tightened up, we saw that separation come.
And one more.
I need to keep going. Sorry, Christian, Bosvita, and then Percy.
Hey, Coach, I don't really have a question for you. I have a question for your guest there. Just no, just on your defense, and you could introduce your guest if you want, maybe not. But in terms of your defense, just how the individuality is, the micro is helping with the macro in terms of the team defense.
This is Onyx. You want to say hi, Onyx? No, I told him not to talk before, so he's being very amazing. This is actually my nephew. He came, I think, a couple of years ago. We had press conference. So yeah, he's here, back in action. Our defense, talk to me. You said the defensive.
Yeah, I mean, you have 11 steals. Those are individuals.
Yeah.
As a collective, you've talked about a collective defense. Can you talk about how the individuality, people knowing their roles, is helping the overall defense?
Yeah, I mean, it always starts on the ball, Skylar. Her hawking the ball, her picking up full court.
Look at me.
Yeah, that's good.
It's a truck.
You made a truck? Okay. Okay, let me answer this question. Skylar starts amazing on the ball. She's very competitive, and I think it really ignites what we do on the backside of that. And then individually, Jordan's ability to keep people out the paint, that one-on-one matchup, and then the backside of that is Ezzy cleaning up a lot of that with block shots and using her instinct to come over and help. So when you have point of attack, wing, and post. Now the other two are just solid in what they do, communicative, and that really helps set the tone for our defense.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And then first team, we'll take in one more question here in the room.
Awesome. Awesome. Look there, coach. You look fantastic there. Hey, just wondering, what's going to be the last thing that you tell the team before everyone leaves for this break? And where do you think you guys are with 15 games left in the season?
The last thing I told them, this break comes at a good time. I think we need to rest, recharge, and get
your car.
and get refocused. And that's just that, our Olympians are going to go do amazing things in Paris. I'm going to be coaching, but the group that's staying here is going to be locked into the work, and their improvement matters as well. So we have a core group that's staying here and is going to really elevate what we do when we get back. And that's kind of the mindset when we want to hit the ground running, starting with Atlanta after the break. There's a balance of trying to get our Olympians some rest, but we're trying to make this playoff push, and we have a group that understands who we have in the locker room. So working hard every day, nothing changes. The being dangerously disciplined in everything that we do, having competitive character when we step on the floor, that is going to continue to be the mindset and the theme of the back half of the season.
And and think just 25 games into the season, obviously you're 17-8. Just your assessment that maybe that goes beyond the record.
I think we're trending positively in a lot of areas. I'm always going to not be satisfied. That's just me being a coach, and wanting more, and always being very greedy, but I'm very proud of the effort that everyone is showing when they step on the court. I'm very proud of the connectivity that I see. I'm very proud of everyone trying to get the chemistry together on and off the floor, and being 17-8 with a group that hasn't logged a lot of minutes, had a short training camp, players who are learning a new system. I'm really proud of where we are.
There you go. Awesome, coach. Thank you.
And last one here in the room.
Hey, coach, just one last question. With how Nneka played today, can you just speak on it? Because she had basically her hand on everything, on the defensive end, on the offensive end. Can you just speak on how important that was, especially since it's kind of like her homecoming back to LA?
Yeah. First off, I would like to congratulate Nneka for passing Lisa Leslie on that all-time scoring list. I think when you are in the company of names like Lisa Leslie, that means you are a legend yourself, and still have so much to give to the game. So she had 6 steals today as well. I thought defensively her activity was really, really good. She was communicative. I know she didn't start off shooting the ball well, but you look at the stats, she got her efficiency back up because she was aggressive, mindful of the mismatches and all those things. And she plays basketball with so much heart and passion and desire. And we have a player like that who's very elite, but so committed to doing the little things, and understanding the details of the game matter. I think that, we are privileged to have her here, and to be experiencing her in this season of her life, but also where she is in her career, still being very elite in everything that she's doing. So again, it is my honor to coach her, and I love that she's here in Seattle doing her thing.
I think that's our sign that we're done.
Yeah. Say bye-bye. Say peace. Peace. Say like this. 2 fingers. Peace. Good job.
All right. We'll see you guys all in August. Thanks.
Safe travel.